What's up, guys? AC Card Shark back again, back with another episode of eBay unboxings. I know I think I said in the last one that I wasn't going to be doing a lot of these anymore, but I did pick up some good deals and didn't spend a lot of money, honestly. So I kind of packaged together a whole bunch of them into one episode. So I'm just going to get right to it. I'm still waiting on one to come in the mail. I'm probably going to throw that at the end of this episode, so it'll probably cut into another episode or another day or whatever. But you'll get the idea. The first one I picked up, first package I picked up was a lot of NES games, and by a lot I don't mean a lot like a lot of games, but a lot on eBay. It was 6 games, one of which I can't show you because it was for Pixel Sandwich's birthday, but I did pick that one up. There were 6 total games for the NES. 3 of them I already have, actually 4 of them. The one I'm giving to Pixel Sandwich I already have in my collection, but I just wanted him to have it. So 3 of these games will be up for sale. If you guys are interested, please let me know. I've already had one person contact me, and I've been working with him on getting an acceptable price together for a package of games he wants. And I haven't even put the website up yet because a lot of people have been contacting me about buying them without needing to even put the effort out there. So just let me know if you guys are interested in these games, and we'll just PM me on YouTube. Anyway, first game up I already have. This one is in really stellar condition. Unfortunately, or I should say fortunately, I already have a copy and it is already in stellar condition. That game is Tecmo Bowl for the NES. As you can see, the label is not clear. There you go. Label's in really good shape. The spine is in good shape. There's no writing on the game at all. It looks really, really nice. So that game will be up for sale, guys. Probably between the $5 and $10 mark. Just typical eBay, prices are usually around $10 for these games. I'll probably go 5 to 8, maybe something like that. But if you guys are interested, let me know. That was one I picked up, literally just to put out there. The next one I picked up is a pretty common game. It's another sports game, but it's pretty common. It's Jack Nicklaus's Golf. Again, I already have this game. I picked it up at the flea market for a couple bucks. Again, this will probably be like a $2 game or something like that. That game is also for sale. And the last game I have that would be for sale is Ice Hockey. Classic game, guys. I believe the first ice hockey game on the NES. Tons of fun. Lots of fun on that game. Again, that's a common title, like probably $3 on this one. But that will also be for sale. And then the 3 games I didn't get, the 3 games I didn't have that I got. One was Pixel Sandwich's birthday present. The next game is a pretty common game, but it's in really decent shape and one I needed. That game is the Harlem Globetrotters. I've never seen this in the wild. I've never seen it available game stores. I've never seen it in flea markets. It's a pretty common game, but I just never was able to find this game anywhere. And let's see, clear up. Anyway, you get the idea. The spine's in good shape though, but Harlem Globetrotters, that's a game I needed for my collection. And another game I needed, I was kind of disappointed with the condition of this one, but I'm just happy to have this game because I ended up getting it for like $4 and I've never found it for less than 10. That game is Kid Icarus. As you can see, there is label wear on the corner right there and up at the top right here, but the spine is in decent condition, and when you put it on the shelf, that's really what you're going to be looking at. So the spine looks pretty good, except for that one little pop at the top there, but not terrible. Again, if I find a decent one or one in better condition for a decent price, I'll pick it up, but I'm pretty satisfied with this one. It's good enough for me. Like I said, Video Bonanza always had this game, and it was always like $16, stuff like that, and it does run a heftier price, and I have a feeling I got it for $4 because of the fact that the label's a little screwed up. But like I said, it's not that bad. So, but Kid Icarus was the last one of that lot of games. So those go on my pile to go on the shelf. The other ones are going to go in the big box to sell. Like I said, if you guys, you always get first crack at my doubles here, and if no one wants them, then I put them up on either eBay or my website, and then continue from there. So that was that. And then I got a package, a box here, and it is full of games, all Sega games, which is really rare for me. I'm usually the whole Nintendo thing. 1 Sega CD game and I think 4 Master System games. The first one is the Sega CD game. I was already buying games from this guy because I saw the Sega Master games I wanted, and I didn't. I just went through and just to see what other stuff he had for sale, and he had this game for the Sega CD. I eventually want to try to get all the Sega CD games. And I believe this was like $4 complete in box, and it just sounds so bad that it's going to be good. You know how I love those games. The game is called Double Switch. I'll give you a close-up there. Double Switch for the Sega CD. As you can see, it's complete. The spine is in really good shape. You open it up, it still has the styrofoam, and obviously the CD is in there, and obviously the insert is in there. But basically, it's a interactive movie, and it says you can help them if you dare. Just try catching some of the strangers around this tacky old townhouse. Eddie says to trap this one and that one. Do you feel lucky? It's an interactive mystery movie, Hollywood quality production, cast, and entertainment. And it's starring Corey Haim and Deborah Harry, which, if you don't know who Corey Haim is the 80s star, who I believe, did he die? It was either him or, no, Corey Feldman died. Corey Haim is still alive. And Deborah Harry is actually the lead singer from Blondie. So I can't see this being like really good as far as like a good game, but I think it's going to be good because it's fun to make fun of. 60 minutes of full motion movie action and eerie CD music composed by Thomas Dolby, which is responsible for Dolby surround sound. But I just can't see this being any good. If you look at some of the screenshots on the back, it's looking pretty lame. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the games that are lame that you can sit there and make fun of, like Wirehead for the Sega CD. So for $4, I couldn't pass this up. Like I said, I'm trying to get the entire Sega CD collection if possible as well. So, how can you say no to a $4 game, let alone one that looks that bad and that entertaining? So, anyway, so I got 4 Master System games. Some of them are in some questionable shape. They're not all complete, and they're not all in that great a shape. But like I said, I'm trying to get them all in at least their boxes. I don't care about instruction manuals. I care about boxes for the shelf. And the condition, I'm not really picky, honestly. As long as the cartridge works and it goes into a box for the shelf, that's all I care about, really. So I did pick up 4 games. First game I picked up is Bank Panic. And as you can see, there is a split in the case in the front there. You can see in the plastic. But the artwork is all complete. The spine looks really good for the shelf. And if you look on the inside, like I said, it's not complete. It's just the cartridge only. The cartridge is beat up as well. But I got it for like $4. Like, again, not complete, but in its box, I got it for like $4. And this game usually runs a lot. And just looked like a really cool game. So I picked up Bank Panic for the Sega Master. The next game I picked up is, again, cartridge only, but in box. That game is the Incredible Crash Test Dummies. I believe they also had this for the NES. I don't have this for the NES just yet. And again, like I said, the spine looks really good. So again, on the shelf, it'll look really nicely in my collection. And the cartridge itself looks like it had some label wear and they taped it up. But again, I really don't care. If it's in the system, and I mean, it's the only time I'm going to see the cartridge is in the system. And again, I'm not doing it for the value, I'm doing it for the collection. So again, if I happen to find one of these and find one a little bit more, in better shape, I'll do that and then sell off the other copy. But for now, I'm satisfied with this, honestly. So the Crash Test Dummies. 2 more in this box. We have this one and that one. This one, the game is actually in really good shape. Again, no instruction manual. This is probably a seller on eBay who like parted it out, so to speak, like took the instructions and sold them separately. But I wasn't about to buy instruction manuals. I really don't care. Again, Master System. This one is called Arcade Smash Hits. And this cartridge is 3 games in 1. And it is basically old Atari games redone for the Master System. And it was Missile Command, Breakout, and Centipede. So, again, games I already have for the Atari. I don't have my Atari hooked up, so I really can't really bust them out. And the Master System is hooked up over here. So, I just figure, again, trying to get the entire Sega Master System collection. And there's, I think, 224 games. I think I'm up to about 25 right now. So I got a long way to go. But I'm also trying to get them all in their boxes. I don't want any loose carts. So that's a little bit tougher to find. But, whatever. But like I said, 3 old Atari games. Again, this was like $4 in its box. And then the last game I got is actually complete in box. A little bit of writing on it. Someone put their last name on the front cover. And on the cartridge, which... back in the day, that's what you did. You lend out your game, you put your name on it, so you got it back. But whatever. I'm a big fan of the series of games, and I never knew this one came out on the Master System. And this is actually what I bought. This is what brought me to the seller to buy all the rest of the games. That game is Pac-Mania. So Pac-Mania for the Sega Master. As you can see, their last name is written on the top there. Not a big deal. Again, not really too picky. The spine is awesome. It's a really, really cool spine with the artwork and Pac-Man on there. And if you look on the inside, it does show it being complete. Instructions are there. And the cartridge, like I said, has a label and has some writing on it. But again, the cartridge is not going to be displayed in the game room. This is the display piece, and that looks good. So all in all, I'm happy with that pickup too. So I mean, basically, I got the 4 Master System games for the shelf. Got the Sega CD game from that seller. A+ on that pickup as far as I'm concerned. And then the last pickup that I have to show you today, before I cut to the last one, I'm waiting on one more, like I said. Came in a big box, which I'm not really sure why. But this is a collectible. It's not going to be used because it can't be used. It was a peripheral back in the day for the Sega Genesis. And I'll pop him with the bubble wrap. And I had this for the Sega Genesis. Now, if you guys listen to the Cynical Pixel Show, my podcast, you probably already know about this because I already talked about it on the last episode. But this was a peripheral from like 1996 or so. Sega put out an awesome service that was available through your cable company called the Sega Channel. And if you guys are old enough, around my age, give or take, or a little bit young, even a little bit younger, might remember it. But the Sega Channel was something that you hooked up into your Genesis, you plugged it in your Genesis, and you had 2 wires. You had one that went to an AC adapter and one that went to a cable line. And literally on the first of every month, you paid, I believe it was $15 a month, and you got, I believe, 30 games that you were able to choose from the main menu of this Sega Channel converter. And you picked whatever game you wanted, you downloaded it from the cable company, and it was right there on your screen without needing the cartridge. And it was probably one of the most innovative, awesome ideas that Sega had, along with the Dreamcast, which was a couple of years later. They were really ahead of their game. And unfortunately, the public wasn't ready for stuff like that. And it failed. It was out for maybe a year or so, give or take, and then the cable company discontinued it because Sega discontinued it, and that was the end of the Sega Channel. Well, I loved it. I thought the Sega Channel was an amazing idea. I was one of the beta testers back when it first started. The cable company was offering I think it was a month or 2 free to test it and see if it was good and people liked it. And it stuck around for a little while, and then I ended up buying it for $15 a month. Unfortunately, when the service was up, you had to turn all the converter boxes and stuff back into the cable company because they had to return them and turn right back to Sega, which leaves those converter boxes to be pretty rare. That's what I picked up. This was the exact Sega Channel converter box that I had as a kid. Not the exact one, but you know what I'm saying. All the guts have been ripped out of this one. As you can see, it's empty. But that's where your cable went, and that's where your AC plug went. There was a menu button on the top here, which if you were in the middle of a game and you wanted to go back to the menu, you just hit that button on the top. And as you can see, this is the part that plugged right into your Genesis. So basically, you figure this plugged into your Genesis like this, and that was your game cartridge. And then you literally went to a main menu, picked what game you wanted. You went to the categories like, say, strategy or board and puzzle games, sports games, whatever. And then you picked and went to another menu of all the games that you could download. And they were all right here for you. I mean, it all downloaded to one box, and you never had to go out and buy games. There were new games every 30 days, and you had 30 games in 30 days. So basically, you had approximately a game a day to sit there and play. And if you really liked one game, you just busted it out every day if you wanted to. It was just an amazing service. And the fact that these had to be turned back in, this is the General Instrument version. There were multiple versions depending on what cable company you had. This is the exact one I had as a kid, this model. And if you plugged it into your Genesis 2, you needed the blue sleeve. The blue sleeve actually comes off if you had a Genesis 1, and it was just like a spacer. And these are rare. I mean, I've never found one before on eBay, and you know me, I collect a lot of the collectible stuff. Maybe not so much for use. Like I have a Nintendo Power Pad. I don't use it. I got it because it's part of my collection. You know, I have Rob the Robots that don't work. Or I don't know if they do work. I've never tried them because they're just sitting on a shelf for a collection. This goes along with it. And I just think it's a really cool piece to find just because of the fact that these were turned in to the cable company when the service was over. I'm not really sure where this one came from, honestly. It could have came from some guy at Sega or the cable company, who knows. But it ended up in my hands and it's not leaving. So this is really, really awesome. I'm really stoked to have this. It just brings back so many memories for me as a middle teenager, basically, downloading Genesis games and stuff. It was just so much fun. So that was the last pickup for today that I had to show you. Like I said, I have one more game coming in the mail from eBay, and that will wrap up this episode, so I will cut to that one right now. Alright guys, welcome back to part 2 of this eBay unboxing. This is about a week later, I guess, from the last part you just saw. Got the last box in the mail, and I'm going to unbox it for you and show you the last part of the pickups I got, and then this should be the last eBay unboxing for some time, probably for a little while. I'll fill in some details at a later date as to why, but that's another story for another day. So the last box here, I already cut it open to save on some time, so I'm going to open it up here. Got some newspaper. And the last game that I picked up is for the Sega Genesis. It is complete in box. It does have some video store stickers on the game and on the game and instructions, but I'm not on the box, and that's really kind of what I care about. This game is a little bit more rare, not quite as rare. I believe there's 2 different versions. I'm not really sure. I may be mistaken, but this was out on the Super Nintendo and Genesis. This one is complete in box for the Genesis. The game is called Aerobiz, and it is like you basically run an airport. You're the CEO of an airline or an airport, and your goal is to create like a global network of planes and like a global airline network. So you're like the CEO of the company, you call all the shots. It's just kind of like a different kind of game. But as you can see, that's Aerobiz right there. Spine is in good shape, as you can see. Spine is looking nice. Still has a little hanger tag on it. And then you open it up. And like I said, there is a sticker, or there's actually 2 stickers. It was a previous rental, obviously. But there is some stickers on the manual as well as the game. But like I said, I'm not too concerned about that as much. Being that this is inside of the box and display on the actual shelf is the case, and the case is sticker free, which is nice. But apparently this is from Electric Video in Shorewood, Illinois. So so this was a former rental at one point, but Aerobiz for the Sega Genesis, I'm really, really stoked about this game. As you guys know, I'm into the sim type games where you try to like build an empire, like like SimCity, you build a city. Sim Ant, you're building your colony. Sim Earth, you're trying to build like a planet. Sim Farm, I mean, all those sim games, and this is right along those same lines. It's just like a really cool, like, build from the ground up. It's kind of almost like game dev story for the phone, for the iPhone, Android, all that. It's like you start with nothing and you try to build an empire out of nothing by making like good business decisions and just all different decisions based on your business. And I've always been a big fan of that kind of stuff. So Aerobiz for the Sega Genesis is the last pickup that I had. All Sega related. Sega CD, Sega Master System, Sega Genesis. Really weird for me, being, the Nintendo is my big thing. But I just wanted to spread out a little bit. I wanted to pick up some games for my collections that wasn't back here and it's over here. Just try to build up all different sections of the collection. Moving forward on this channel, I still have more video games live footage to show you guys. I've just been releasing that little by little. It doesn't seem to be getting the views or the hits that I would like to see. But I did promise you guys those videos, so they will be still periodically releasing on the channel. As I get things settled more and more in this game room, I will do a game room tour. And with the Mac and everything over here, my Mac where I record the podcast and everything else is over this way in the game room. I'm going to try to do some video capture and some reviews of some retro games. As you guys can see, just from my Nintendo games alone, I believe I'm up to like 513 games or something just for the NES. I've got plenty of like DS games, PS1, I've got PS2. I have plenty of games I can go through and do some reviews for you guys. So I'm going to start focusing more on that. Cynical Pixel Show is still going strong. I'm just about to edit episode 9 and get that posted to iTunes. If you guys don't have access to iTunes or Facebook, I do. I should say I am starting to release them on the Shark and Pixel channel on YouTube as well. So if YouTube is your only avenue to listen to a podcast, I will have it over there. It's about 2 months behind probably. So like if you're listening to it on the Shark and Pixels channel, episode 2 is coming soon. We're on episode 9 on iTunes. So If you guys obviously have iTunes or access to it, that's the better avenue to go to listen to the current episodes as to like when we're recording them, that they're current. But the YouTube channel will have one a week, pretty much releasing the same day as the iTunes one. So we're about 7 episodes behind there. That channel was approved for videos longer than 15 minutes, so episode 1 is already posted. It's an hour and 40 minutes. I'll leave a link below for the Shark and Pixel channel, as well as you know, for Facebook, just search for Cynical Pixel or Cynical Pixel Show. On iTunes, just go under podcasts and search for Cynical Pixel. It'll pop up for you. Lots of different ways to keep track of what's going on lately. And like I said, I'm going to try to do a little bit of a different thing with my channel. I'm going to start doing the reviews, the game room tours, the collection videos once that's settled. And I'm really going to try to do some different stuff. Mainly because I have to start saving some money, and obviously, as you guys know, collecting like this takes a lot of money, and it's about time that I need to shift my money elsewhere for the time being, and probably for a while. It's going to cut down my spending for a while. So, so yeah, just something different. I don't want to give up the channel. I don't want to give up the collecting. I just won't be at the same pace as I normally was, and just not the same number of games. So. Just stay tuned, guys. Stick with me. Like I said, just a little bit of some different ideas. If you guys have some ideas, maybe to possibly, you know, give me some ideas for the channel, please feel free to leave some comments below. But that's going to wrap it up for this eBay unboxing, guys. Till next time, AC Card Shark. Take care.